My name is Kathryn Palacio. I'm a Pranic Healing practitioner and Reiki master. You may have heard the words energy medicine, Pranic Healing, or Reiki and wondered exactly what they are and why they may benefit you. I'm going to use the analogy of a hybrid car and the human body to help explain a little bit more about energy medicine. So with a hybrid car, you have the exterior of the car, you have the motor and the drivetrain that helps us to drive and steer and turn the car and move it in the various different directions that we need to go. We have the braking system, the electrical system, and etc. So similar with the human body, we have our musculoskeletal system, organs like the skin, systems like our nervous system, our circulatory system, and etc. And so then if we extend this analogy, we can think about the fuel that a lot of hybrid cars take, the gasoline, as the food and water and nutrition that we intake to help fuel our bodies. And then a lot of these hybrid vehicles also have where you can plug them in and then store energy in a battery in the car. And so I would compare that to the oxygen that we breathe and the animating life force that we have as humans. And so if you really think about it, without being able to breathe and the animating life force, we really wouldn't be alive. And so we need all of these different components to function properly. So thinking about your car, if you happen to have an issue with it, then typically you would take it to a mechanic. So say for instance, your fuel pump is clogged and needs to be changed, then they would do something like that. But if it's something that's a little bit more specialized, say for instance, you have kind of a rare type of brand of car that not a lot of people know how to work on, they might refer you to a specialist mechanic that can work on a particular system that specializes in that, or a specific brand, or something that's more tailored to specifically what you need. And so it's similar with the medical system, where you might go to your primary care physician and then they could refer you to a specialist like a cardiologist, endocrinologist, urologist, etc. And so when I was talking a little bit about the filters that sometimes need to be changed, you could kind of think about that a little bit more along the lines of energy medicine, with the energy that typically flows through our body. Sometimes the ways that the energy moves have what you could think of as kind of like filters, not really filters, but we'll use that analogy. And sometimes they get blocked up and then we start having issues. Typically, we see problems in the energetic system before they show up as physical illness or mental and emotional issues. And so with energy medicine, we would go in and then remove those blockages so that the energy can then flow through the way that it's supposed to. So you can kind of think about it a little bit as like changing the filter. um, and then the other part of energy medicine would be that when we are ill, sometimes it's really related to stress, because when we're under chronic stress, then our bodies really aren't focused on repair and rejuvenation. They're more focused on fight, flight, and survival. And so they don't spend resources on unnecessary things like repairing themselves and maintaining themselves. And so with energy medicine, we add in additional life force energy to the body so that then the body can either repair itself more quickly, and or we kickstart the body's natural healing mechanism if it happened to be put on hold because it was dealing with fight or flight. And so typically when we're ill, say with a bacterial infection, our bodies would eventually usually be able to heal themselves unless they're completely overwhelmed. And so that's where we take then antibiotics that a doctor might prescribe, because the antibiotics then help to speed up the healing, help to fight off the bacteria, and allow our bodies to heal more quickly. So it's actually very similar with energy medicine. Like I said, we're applying that additional life force energy to speed up how quickly the body's able to heal itself, giving it more energy reserves to be able to focus on that healing. So I do want to add in the caveat that we don't want to replace traditional medicine, Western medicine, with energy medicine, that the two really go well together. So energy medicine can be very beneficial when you're dealing with chronic illnesses and you have everything else kind of in place, but you're still not able to recuperate and to make the kind of progress that you want. Say, for instance, you're eating well, you're exercising, you're taking whatever medication, you're doing all the things that your doctor prescribed, but you're still not seeing quite the progress that you would want to see. That's where energy medicine may be of benefit to assist you in moving towards a more vibrant and healthy life. So I hope that that answers a little bit of some of the questions about energy medicine and gives you a little bit more insight.